Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Al,
And my name is Cody.
and we're here today to talk about cottagecore games.
Oh,
Woo!
woo. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Ow, ow, ow.
All
Gotta do
right,
it the right way.
this episode we are going to talk about Sugardew Island, um, because as mentioned in the last episode, it is not out except if you're a Kickstarter backer, in which case it is kind of out.
Okay.
So I was a Kickstarter backer for some reason. So I got my code and I have been playing it for the past week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about that. I've got some thoughts, and I'm sure Cody will have some questions.
Probs.
And then we can never mention the game again. Sound good?
Wow. Yep. Sounds good to me. I'm sure we'll
Uh,
have to mention like updates and stuff for news
nah,
purposes, but
nah,
nah. Okay, cool.
nah. No, I don't. I mean, it'll get patches with like bug fixes, but it's not.
And we're
It's not.
never
We're
not
not
even
going
gonna
to add
mention it
in.
though.
Well, we don't tend to mention updates unless they actually include new stuff. There's going to be no update including new stuff.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
Sounds good.
We'll see. We also have a bunch of news to talk about, but first of all, Cody, what have you been up to?
I realized the other day that this is the year that everything has flipped on its head because all of the other years, every time I looked at a mobile game for this podcast, I was like, I can't wait to get rid of this game. And I now have
Yeah,
four different mobile
I was
games,
going to say, Cody, this is a list of 4 mobile games in your what have we
all of
been up
which
to?
all of which I can blame on this podcast. Because even though we didn't cover Pokemon Pocket, y'all talking about it is why I ended up getting it. So been playing that every day. Got to play at least, like twice a day to get my stuff. Johnny convinced me to play Pocket Camp. So I'm doing that. I am now, I think, level like 63. I think initially when I talked to him about it, it was 41. So, and you don't necessarily level up that easy. So that's a yikes for me. I will say if people are interested, the like used to be paid currency, you get it really easily. So I currently have like 854 of them, and you can use like 5 of them to like skip things. So
Nice.
it's easy. Like it's good. And I opened that and that was a mistake. And then Honey Grove, I'm still playing that. I have like half of my map unlocked and I'm just kind of still doing the daily quests. And then in Mini Farm, I am
Mini
in
mini.
the third area now. And the third
Oh,
area
nice.
is like a desert, and then there's an underground part of the desert where there's like mushrooms.
Have you got any answers yet?
So not really. There's still a lot of like questions about where did the people go. And there's like these weird alien looking machines everywhere.
Ooh,
There's kind of like more and more the more you go through the game. And in this last one, there is a cactus who that's moving, and as you like you kind of follow the cactus and walk into it, and it's a person that has been
oh,
turned into a cactus, and they keep forgetting the conversation, and so the
oh.
conversation has a loop like where they're halfway through, they're like, wait, who are you? Wait, what's going
Hmm.
on? And then it starts back over. But
Interesting.
yeah, I'm still very intrigued, and I still am playing it every day. And I have no complaints there.
Nice.
So I've been wanting to play another game that we will talk about later. I just have to I say I have to convince myself to buy it. It's more that I have to move the money that I need for it into out of my savings account because I want it. I know I want it. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, I've been playing Pocket as well. Just kind of chugging along, opening packs, playing some battles. I have also been continuing to play Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home. I am very close to finishing the story in that game.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm
Is
in
it
chat.
because the story is small?
No,
Okay,
I've just been playing it a lot.
good.
Uh, so I'm in chapter 9 of 10.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think I've got one thing. I'm about to get married, and I think that finishes chapter 9. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what chapter 10 is.
Very nice.
So
Probably like babies. I would assume.
I don't think this game has babies, but
Oh
we'll
my
see.
gosh.
Um,
Goals.
and also obviously Sugardew Island, which I'll talk about more later. And I'm currently debating whether to play to go do my home decks for Sword and Shield, which is the one that I've not finished yet because they just released
Mm-hmm.
the completion reward for that one. But I'm still debating, like, do I want to do that just now? Because I
Mm-hmm.
do want the shiny Keldeo, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Then it
but
sounds like it's a yes.
but but am I going to burn myself out on Pokemon? That's the problem.
Mm. Have you ever burned yourself out on Pokemon?
Yes,
Oh
regularly.
wow. Well then yeah, there you go. Maybe I mean I think is it like something that's only available for a short amount of time?
No.
No, then just don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, but what if?
What if what? What
What
if the
if?
what if my country declares war on everyone and nuclear strikes everyone
Well, yeah, but there's nothing I
tomorrow?
can do
Like,
about that, though, is there? But there is something I can do about this, which is do it.
okay. I was gonna just make a comment of you never know what's gonna happen.
No, you
So
don't exactly. So you have to, but it's about balancing which things you can do something about and which things you can't. I can't do
yeah,
anything about nuclear war other
you
than what I've already done. I can do something about this.
have you heard the hostile government takeover song?
Yes,
I love that song. It's now on Spotify
obviously.
if people want. It's such a good song. Uh that's fair. I was trying to be devil's advocate, but no, you've convinced me. Yeah, why don't you play it? Get your fill your home decks.
Anyway, my point is, I need to do something because I'm not going to continue playing Sugardew Island after today, and well, maybe we'll see. And I think I'm about to
What?
finish Harvest Moon Home, Sweet Home. Um, so I'll need something else to play.
Hmm.
And there's lots of things to play, but I do like to fall back into the same things that I have played.
Hmm.
And
Big
I need
need.
to procrastinate from playing the next game for the podcast that I'm meant to be playing as well,
Ah, as is tradition.
as is tradition.
Except for the like very rare once a year ones that we've been waiting for forever
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we play immediately.
I definitely
So,
managed to do enough Sugardew Island. I didn't procrastinate with that too much. I managed to get what I needed done in the last week. So,
which is good because I did not play it.
well,
So,
nor should you. So, let's talk about the news then.
okay.
Up first, we have Song of the Prairie. They have released their 1.2 update, which includes the story for year 3 in the game,
Mhm.
a praying festival.
Yeah, which they said is like you send lanterns up into the sky um to pray for people or love or something. I don't know. It's a thing people do. But it sounds like it looks really pretty because it's just like a bunch of lanterns.
They've also added okra as their new crop.
Hmm.
And they have announced that they are releasing a bottom of the screen version of their game, a Rusty's like, if you will,
A rusty like.
um, called Song of the Prairie Wonderland. Is
Yup.
it Wonder or is it one? Is it Song of the Prairie Wonderland on desktop?
Oh gosh, that would, who knows? But because does it say on desktop in
In this,
capitals
it's in the
in
yeah.
the, though their English is definitely not their first language in the that show note, not show notes. Why do I always struggle with what this is called?
Oh yeah, no,
Release?
it's called Wonderland on desktop.
Okay, interesting.
I just noticed they have a Steam page up for it.
That is a choice.
Interestingly, it doesn't have Song of the Prairie in the name on Steam. It's just called Wonderland on desktop.
Not on laptop, just desktop.
I
It's
think
probably
it's
on.
mean like your virtual desktop,
I don't know what that means.
like the back, like that's like the home screen.
Oh, okay.
It's called the desktop, right?
My brain is potato today. I apologize.
There's
That
no
makes, I mean,
missions, no target, no other requirements, just all kinds of crops. Actually, it says corpse, but I'm pretty sure that's meant to be crops, because that's a very different game. An
All
undeveloped
kinds
land.
of corpses. Yeah. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Continuing that genre.
I'm here for it, man. I am so excited that to continue the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to get this, but I love to see it. Oh, he EP.
Yeah, very. Next, we have Fields of Mystria have announced that their second major update, which we talked about in a previous episode, is coming on the 10th of March.
Al, are you ready for that sweet, sweet automation?
Always.
That sweet, sweet sprinkler and the auto petter.
This comes out 3 days after Sugardew Island, so you need to decide: are you playing Sugardew Island or the Fields of Mystria update?
That is a difficult decision.
There is a correct answer here.
Yeah. And just a reminder, this update includes so many different things, including a new festival, new quests, monsters, pets, that sprinkler that I mentioned, different cosmetic options for you and your pets. Lots of different things coming out. And again, this is a game that people really love. So if you have been loving it, keep loving it with more things.
And Outbound have released their roadmap for the game. So this is the camper van game. They have said that they're planning for their release in the first half of 2026. Their alpha coming in April this year, and the beta coming in the second half of this year. That is their current roadmap.
And they're still aiming to have multiplayer out in the alpha. So that would be in April. So that people can play test that. But they really just are needing a lot of playtesters, and they show a couple things they've been developing that look kind of cool. But so if you're interested in that, check the show notes.
Yeah, it's good. They had originally said the alpha would come out in the first half of the year, and so coming out in April is encouraging based on that.
Also,
right? They're not just sneaking in at the end of the first half.
It's accurate too. Yeah, that is part of the first half of the year. We love accuracy. We stand accuracy here. Specifically scientific accuracy. We believe in science. I just hate my government so much. We have a couple new games.
Yes. So the first one is technically not a new game, but I'm going to treat it like a new game because when they first announced it, they announced basically nothing about it. So this is what was announced 3 years ago. It's a new, the upcoming Chibig game. It was announced in the Chibig Direct 3 years ago as Elusive People. Is now just called Elusive. And they've actually given us some information about it, other than just because I think all we knew was like, oh, you're tiny. That was it. That's all they had. So they've got the Kickstarter coming soon, and they've got a bunch of information on the Kickstarter. They are describing it as an adventure and exploration game with Metroidvania elements. Which, I mean, just a quick thought about that. I'm a bit confused as to how you can have Metroidvania elements, because it is my understanding that the point of a Metroidvania is to have a large sprawling map which requires upgrades and backtracking to finish. And I'm not sure how you kind of have that. Like, you either are that or not.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a semantics thing, because I agree, like my brain thinking when you say Metroidvania antics, I think platforming, and I think, like you're saying, like there's things that are locked at first, and then you have to go back once you acquire a certain thing. And then once you have, I mean, I don't see how a game could have that type of mechanic and not have it be like a major part of the genre.
Yeah.
Or like the defining genre of the game, and therefore just be called a Metroidvania. But who knows? Maybe they'll make it happen. Maybe we'll be shocked.
We'll see. The Elusives are tiny creatures that live in our homes, hiding from us and borrowing whatever they need. It's the borrowers.
It's the borrowers, people. I am shocked that this hasn't been a game yet, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be interesting to see how much of that actually affects anything. I mean, it clearly is like you are in a house rather than like a cave system. So I guess that is the bit that makes it you're just a tiny person rather than you're just a person. Um,
My brain thought, I'm trying to think of like ways that the house could be locked to you. And I just imagined like, because they mentioned there's a cat. Um, I just imagined that like there's a cat and that partway through the game you learn how to like make the cat like you. So then you can get past the cat. I think that'd be really cute.
maybe.
But who knows? I mean, we're gonna play it. It's a chibi game. Come on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
Like I've bookmarked the Kickstarter. Like I'm backing it day one. Right. Let's not pretend anything
Yeah.
here.
No news on when that's launching, but it's just launching soon.
They'll
Do we?
presumably have some information about it when they launch the Kickstarter because they have to give like an estimated date.
Mm-hmm.
If I had
Well,
to
yeah.
predict, I would say next year.
I mean the Kickstarter though. Like we don't know when that is launching. It just
Oh, right. Okay.
says
Okay. The
soon
Kickstarter, yeah,
TM.
yeah, it'll probably be in the next month or so, I think.
I'm gonna say that it will be fully backed within 9 hours. Like between
Yeah.
8 to 9 hours. That's my
3 hours.
guess. 3 hours. Wow, you're going for it. You're gonna personally back it so that it gets done in three
Yeah,
hours.
I'm gonna bankroll it. Imagine
I
if I
need
had that.
I
Imagine
need
having
to,
that kind of money. That'd be amazing. Like
right?
just go, yes, make your game.
The other notable thing was on the like they have a picture of physical editions already. And they below that they have Switch 1 and 2, Steam,
Yep.
PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X.
Yeah. So I yeah, so there's two obviously there's the Nintendo Switch 2 thing, right? Fine, a little bit presumptuous, but
Yeah.
I'm sure whatever. Like if they release a Nintendo Switch version and is backwards compatible on the two, then technically they can say they've released on Switch 2. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Um it's interesting they don't mention Xbox Series S because is it my understanding that you're not allowed to release a game just on the X. It has to release on the S as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that has been like a sticking point for a few people on releasing on Xbox. They're like, oh, it's a bit underpowered. I can't quite get my game to work on it. And they're like, well, tough.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know because they specifically leave it out. So I don't know if they struck a deal or if it was an oopsie daisy and it will come out on that, but we'll keep that updated.
Can I be a little bit
Um,
pedantic and say it doesn't say Nintendo Switch 1 and 2? It says Nintendo Switch 1 dash 2.
oh my gosh, there's an intermediate Switch. Switch Switch 1 version 2, Switch 1.2. I don't know. Yep, you're right.
Anyway, yep, looking forward to that. We will keep you updated.
Oh woo.
And there's another game that
But
Cody found.
yeah, but not a woo because there's one more game. So this is a game that I think it was just like on Instagram. Instagram knows my algorithm really well. And it was like, you should play this game. And it's called Bug and Seek. And so this is a game that's already out. We just hadn't talked about it. At least I didn't find it in anything. It's 14.99 on Steam, and it can be Mac or PC and on Switch. And the blurb, catch 200 plus real life bugs in this chill 8-bit cozy creature collector. You've bought the local bug zoo, abandoned after a mysterious robbery. Catch bugs that make jokes and puns, fill orders, build your collection, upgrade skills and equipment, and try to solve the great bug heist. So this is the game that I'm probably immediately after this gonna go move money into my out of my savings account into my
What?
regular account so I can buy it because I need to play this game. Um, it just looks really cute. Like you're going around catching bugs. The bug like pages look really cute because it has like the scientific name and the common name, and it's got like a lot of really cool facts. And the idea of having a bug zoo. I mean, we have an insect zoo for the entomology department here at my university, and I'm the person who takes care of the critters. And so the idea of just like moving into a town and becoming the bug zoo person is just chef's kiss. Like I love that idea. And you get to like build it up however you want. So you get to like buy a terrarium and then put that wherever you want in the space and kind of make it your own instead of just filling an already curated museum. So I think it's super cute. And on Steam. It's part of a bundle called the Creature. Oh my gosh, I need to double check this because I had it up and then I got rid of it. But it was like the Creature something. Celebrate Bugs bundle.
Close.
The Celebrate Bugs bundle. Um, yeah. Oh, and they have an Isopods DLC and a Weevils DLC. And yeah, what more could you need? But it's in that bundle, and that bundle includes Bug and Seek, Apico, and Webbed, which is a super cute game where you're a jumping spider, one of the peacock jumpers, I think, or maybe you run into a peacock jumper, but you basically swing Spider-Man style throughout the world and just adventure. And I remember seeing this game and freaking out. It is regrettably not available on Mac. And I already have
Oh.
Apico. But if you do not have any of these games and you've been wanting any of them, why not get all of them for $38.22 and save 15%? Are you going to play Bug and Seek?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, listeners,
But I'm
tell us
excited.
who should be on the podcast episode with me about Bug and Seek.
I'm excited for you. Apparently, this came out in 2013.
What? I have release date 2023.
That's what I said.
You said 2013.
Did I? I meant to say
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah, 2023. Wild. I don't know how this has not been on my radar until now. No idea.
Well, now you know.
I'm excited.
All right. That is the news. So we are now going to talk about the game of the moment, game of the year, lol.
No, redacted.
Sugardew Island. I'm sure it will be mentioned in the game of the year episode. Because I list all the games that come out in the year. Yeah.
You played it, I didn't.
Oh boy, did I play this game. Right. So where do I start with this? Okay. Codey's just posted the blurb. So apparently that's where I'm starting with. In
You don't
this
have to if you don't want to.
in this cozy farming game, you have to run your own farm shop, take care of your animals and your farm, sell your goods to the cute forest folk, upgrade the island, and fulfill small orders from the harmony tree to fill the island with life again. And let me tell you, that is all technically true.
Wow. Okay.
There are no lies there.
There are no lies, but not maybe the main part of the game.
No. It's the okay. Right. Let's
dive into it.
I think it's hard for me to give a good overview without just kind of going into the details.
Okay.
But essentially, you have this island,
Okay.
which it calls 6 different islands, but it's not because they're all one island. They're connected by land. There's no bridges between them. There's no water between. This is one island, right? I don't know why it calls it multiple islands. Whatever, doesn't matter. You have Farm Island. I think that's what they call the main one. And then you have. Let me get the exact names of these different islands for you because you need to hear them. We have Farm Island. Oh, so technically there's 7 islands because there's Farm Island, Forest Island, Bunny Island, Piggy Island, Deer Island, Ferret Island, and Owl Island. And it's kind of shaped like an animal's paw on the map.
Okay.
With like Farm Island at the bottom. That is, can you guess what's there?
A farm.
That's your farm. And then in the middle is Forest Island. Can you guess what's there?
The desert?
No.
The forest.
There's actually not many trees there. There's like one big tree.
Oh, so it's a
There are more trees on my farm than there are in the forest. And then spreading out like the toes of the paw are the Bunny Island, Piggy Island, Deer Island, Ferret Island, and Owl Island. And those all have animals on them.
Yay.
So you start off with, I think, one island having one animal on it. I think you have one bunny unlocked to start with. And then as you progress through the game, you unlock more animals on the islands, up to, I think, 5 on each. And these animals give you seeds that you can use to farm. Free seeds. You go up to one and it will go like, oh, here you go. Here's some carrot seeds.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And when you unlock one of the animals, you also get like an upgrade to something. So examples of the upgrades would be you can now get pumpkin seeds, or you can now upgrade your tools, you can now upgrade your shop, stuff like that. So there's
Mm-hmm.
it's the pro that's the kind of main progress through the game. And how do you unlock these things, you ask? Well, you get a currency called harmony. There's only one way to get this currency, and that is by selling things at the shop.
Okay.
So you can get the other currency, which is called Sugardew, which is like the actual currency that you use to buy things. You can get that two other ways. You can sell to, like, there's one guy who sells you seeds. You can sell him stuff, but you don't get the harmony that way. Or you can do, as it mentioned in the blurb, these small orders from the harmony tree. That will those are the harvest sprites will ask for certain things, and you can give them certain things, and that will get you Sugardew as well. Those tend to be like higher value things. So
Mm-hmm.
what would normally sell for 200 will actually sell for like 700, but you can
Oh,
only
dang.
have max 4 a day, and they are obviously like specific things. So if you don't have the specific thing, you can't do it.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to sell at the shop to get the harmony to upgrade things. We'll get to the shop later because
Okay. I was gonna ask about the show.
have a lot
Okay.
to talk about with that, but let's get through this.
Okay.
So that's the island unlocking. There, the main point of it is to get the like unlocks for so you can do other things like upgrade your tools and get different kinds of seeds and stuff like that. But it
Mhm.
also unlocks more of these animals that you can go and get seeds. And you seem to be able to get them basically infinitely, right? Like if you walk between two islands, they'll almost always have a seed for you. So you can
Okay.
like just constantly be getting free seeds, which
Just
I
go
think is
back and
actually,
forth.
yeah, which I think is really good early on.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to get a lot more seeds than you would otherwise be able to get. But I've hit the point where I'm like, this is just so much effort. I'm just going to buy seeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm now, doing like 45 seeds a day. I'm not walking around the islands and
Yeah.
interacting with the animals 45 times every single day.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay.
Farming wise, it's pretty standard, but everything, it almost feels like it's missed the last like 10 years of quality of life improvements in farming games,
Okay.
but it's fine. Like nothing. What I will say is it has, so your bag has two different pockets. I like having the tools in a different pocket because it
Yeah.
doesn't take up space that other things would. So I will say that's a good thing. I like that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about the farming because it's literally you till the land, you plant the seed, you water, and it grows, you harvest it, right? It's like
That's
standard farming.
that's so innovative. Like how many types of seeds are there?
So I have encountered maybe like 12. There's a
Okay.
decent selection. It's not humongous, but it's a decent. I will say there don't seem to be any seasons. So I'm on day 46
Mm.
and I have not noticed any changes. It does have weather. I've noticed like 3 different weathers. So there's rain, there's sun, and then there's wind. I don't think wind
Mm.
does anything. It's not like the storms in Stardew where sometimes you can't go out the house or it does something else. It's just you see some wind. So I'm not really sure what that does. But yeah, the rain is good. It waters your plants, standard.
Love that. How is the like are the crops like well not displayed, but like the visuals of it really decent or are they pretty basic?
I think if you like how the game looks, you'll like that. It is very much a choice how it looks. I'm not a
Hmm.
huge fan. But yeah, it's not like you just see like the crop appear on the ground or anything. They do have, growth and they slowly grow and then you've got it on its plant and then you see the corn come off the plant, that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
So it does. Interestingly, I will say lots of the seeds look exactly the same. I've seen maybe 3 different kinds of seeds.
Hmm.
So that can be a little bit weird, but the actual plants, yeah, they're all unique and
Okay.
look so that's fine, I guess.
I suppose.
I mean, none of it, nothing. Well, let me put it this way: nothing excites me in this game.
Okay.
Um, what else about the farming? Uh, Yeah, I think you upgrade like being able to sow the seeds like you do with the same as the watering can. So I've upgraded to the second watering can, which gives me a 3x1 instead of
Mm-hmm.
a 1x1, and I can now sow seeds 3x1 as well. So I
Okay.
like that because some farming games forget that sowing seeds takes a long time, and please give me an
Yeah.
upgrade for that as well. So that's good.
Okay.
Um, I don't think there's anything really much to say about the farming. You get oh yes, here's one. You get 3 crops for every seed you plant. So
Oh, okay.
if you plant 10 seeds, you will get 30 of that crop. Um,
And the benefit of the crops, is it just for selling or
yeah,
in
pretty
your
much.
shop? Is there any cooking
You,
at all?
that's a good point. Yeah, you can't eat any of them. So there is one thing you can eat to regain stamina, and it's like an energy bar. And as far as I can see, you can only get it by buying it from the seed man.
Capitalism.
I have not figured out a way to be able to cook or to eat, and I've not seen anything in the list of upgrades that would imply that you can unlock that later. Which, if you can, feels weird that you can't do it because, like, I feel like I am maybe like halfway through the game, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've unlocked each of the islands to at least level 3, and I've done two of them, one of them to level 4, and I'm working on another one to level 4, right? And that's out
Mm-hmm.
of 5. So I feel like uh, like I don't think I could play this for another 10 hours and not have them all unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it would be weird if there was cooking and I just hadn't unlocked it yet.
That is a choice because I feel like people that farm are the ones that usually are like cook as well.
Yeah.
They're more prone to cooking their own meals with their own food, but
Well, and cooking is sometimes the only thing that gets you through the early stages of these farming games, right? Because you're like, oh, I
mm-hmm.
can't do everything I want to do. And so you use some of your crops
Mm-hmm.
for energy instead. Like that's a pretty standard thing. And it does feel like a weird, especially with something at the shop, which I'll get to in a minute. Let's quickly talk
Mm-hmm.
about the animals.
Okay.
The animals are fine. You buy an animal, you give it some food, it gives you some crops. Not
Okay.
crops, some produce.
Are these the animals on the islands or like farm
No, so these
animals
are
on your
farm
farm?
animals,
Okay.
farm animals. So I've got cows and chickens so far, and I
Okay.
believe you can get goats and ducks at least as well. I've seen them on the upgrade
Okay.
tree. I don't know if there's anything else,
Okay.
but yeah, they're fine. One thing that is nice that other some farming games do and some don't is that as you upgrade the friendship, they give you multiple produce in one day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the produce is worth more than most of the crops.
Mm-hmm.
So you can invest a lot of money into the animals and get a lot of money that way, I think.
What do the animals eat?
Wheat, just wheat,
Okay.
which you can farm yourself. So there
Yeah.
is that.
Okay. Is
All
there
right.
quality to their products or is it just
No,
amount?
no, it's just crops.
Okay.
There are two kinds of fertilizer. There is wet fertilizer and dry fertilizer. Yep, I don't know why they chose the word wet. I do not enjoy that. Uh, Dry fertilizer speeds up the growing. Wet fertilizer keeps it watered.
That's a choice. Are these things that you get from the animals?
No, so you craft them from weeds.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's talk about so you around your farm obviously you have weeds and stones and trees and these things
Mm-hmm.
come back. They come back super quickly.
Hey,
Like,
that's realistic.
oh my word,
I
what
mean, maybe not like
rocks?
the rocks.
Rocks.
No.
I got rid of all the rocks from one like what is that like a 15 by 10 section. I got rid of all the rocks from there. And then the next day, I have 9 rocks. 9 rocks spawning in this small section in a
Nature
day.
is
It is
nature is healing.
so hard to get rid of all this stuff. And it's like you have to like basically concrete over your farm if you don't want these things to spawn. There's so many of them.
I mean, it's the rocks are plentiful in this spit of land, you know? They just love each other and they're making their rock babies.
It's not, I feel like you could half it and it would
Yeah.
still feel like a lot.
What are you using like the rocks and the all that for?
Very little. There's like
Mhm.
some crafting things, but it's like path. Like I'm I'm using the stone to create path to stop stone spawning. In my crafting thing, I can see like I can use the stone for some path, I can use the wood for some path, I can use the wood for fences, and that's it. You do use the stone and the wood for like house upgrades, but I do not
Mhm.
care about. Why would I care about house upgrade?
Because you want a bigger house.
I, I why? It doesn't do anything. I never spend any time in my house. You can't
Doesn't
you
matter.
can't put anything there.
When after a good hard day's work, you want to come home to things. Murica. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so
It sounds
it's
like this game is like
bizarre.
half baked.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Speaking of half baked, let's talk about the shop.
Okay.
Oh, this is the worst part of the game. I just noticed I did the groan and I typed that was apparently my top bullet point on this list.
What
That
is
was
the,
accidental.
how do you say that? The way that
Ugh.
you typed it. Ugh. Okay.
So first of all, you use up stamina to sell things in the shop, which like considering you cannot replenish your stamina with your crops, you have to buy energy things. That is such a weird choice, especially as you don't use up stamina to do anything to do with your animals. To,
Capitalism.
to milk your cows, to pet your cows, to feed your cows, no stamina loss.
I will say my animals give me life every day. So that coming out net
Sowing
cost
seeds does
net.
not have stamina,
Okay, that's a lie.
but selling at the shop does.
Maybe they're introverted.
I it's not fun. Let me put it that way, right?
Social interaction is hard.
Like I'm at the point in my farm where I have so many crops that I can only ever go to my shop on a rainy day. Like I can't because I run out of stamina by the end of my farming.
Yeah. Is there, wait, my brain is potato. Can you upgrade your stamina? Like increase
I
your,
have
the amount of,
I don't know because there's no
okay.
number on it. There's just a bar. And it does say that I'm upgrading my level, but I
Mm,
don't know if that upgrades my stamina or not. Hard to know because there's no like transparency there.
okay.
Um okay, so you go in and you say you have like four counters. You can put one stack of items on each counter. And then you go, right, I'm opening the shop now. You can do it once per day. Oh yeah, that was the interesting thing about this is that it's like a turn-based game. There is no timer in the game. You can spend as
Hmm.
much time as you want doing things, and then you go to your shop and you open the shop, and when your shop closes, it's nighttime. Like that is how this works,
Hmm.
which I think is an interesting way of doing things. It has not been implemented particularly well here. It's not particularly interesting in this game, but it is an interesting idea. That is what I will say.
Okay.
So,
Props
so
for the idea, not for the execution.
yes. So you open your shop, and then these random village creatures who you never see at any other point in the game,
Yeah, that was my next question.
they come in. Where do they come from? I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Don't question it. So they pop into the shop, and you can have like an infinite line of these creatures coming in as long as you still have stamina and you still have items on the counter. They will
Okay.
come forever, and they'll wander around and they'll pick something up, some number of one of your items, and they will take it to you. And they will either be like, I want to buy this, or they'll be like, I maybe want to buy this. If they want to buy it, you click the button, you sell it. Great. If they're
Yay.
not sure, you get to convince them. And what you can do is you can either say, like you can choose one of three things. You can either do like the middle one, and if it's more likely, or it's the normal likelihood of them selling, and you get the normal amount of money.
Okay.
If you choose the higher one, there is less likelihood of them buying, but you get more money. And if you choose the lower one, you get less money, and there's a higher chance of them getting it. Sounds like an interesting idea, right? Except
Uh, doesn't sound like that's how it works.
just sell it the next day. Why would I ever choose
Yeah.
anything other than the top one? Because I have a chance of getting more money. And
Yeah.
if I don't sell it, I will sell it the next day.
Yep.
There is no reason whatsoever to ever choose the lower one. I
Yeah.
can just sell it the next day. This is not a
Yeah.
problem. I don't understand. This is the most half-baked idea for a shop I have ever seen. I don't
Also,
I
just
don't understand it.
imagining like being in a shop in the real and having someone look at the price tag and they come up and they're like, I don't know. I don't know if I want this. How in the hell are you convincing them to spend more money on it in the
So,
end?
well, the lore behind it is they say, "Oh, you're right. Here's a tip."
Oh,
That is the lore behind this.
okay.
But
Okay.
also,
And
like,
then,
all of the dialogue options are bad, right? Because what they'll do is they'll say, like, "Oh, I kid you not, this is the exact wording." They'll
okay.
come up and they'll say, "I thought I wanted this, but I already have 3 times carrot at home." The 3 times carrot is what they're buying.
Okay.
And you'll say
But the,
something and they'll agree to buy it and they'll go, "Oh, you're right. You can never have too many 3 times carrot."
well, yeah, the three times carrot at home is like awful. It's the,
It's just like, and I know that it's probably just like, oh, they're not native English speakers, but it's just like, just remove the 3 times, right? And it would sound so much less bad. It's like,
yeah,
oh, you can never have too many carrots, rather than, oh,
yeah.
you can never have too many 3 times carrot.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, even that, like, you can never have too many carrots. Like, at a
I mean,
certain point,
it's not
that's,
true.
you
It's not
can.
true. But you know that there will be people saying that, right? Like you can absolutely believe someone saying that in a shop. You can never have too many
I,
carrots. Nobody's saying you
I,
can never have too many 3 times carrot.
I'm gonna start saying that just to spite you.
Sausage
Okay,
roll thrice.
a
Um,
sausage. I want a quartet of
carrot,
sausage, please.
carrot thrice, please.
Thrice. Okay. We're gonna dial it back a little bit because village creatures
I don't know who they are. They're
are
so
they're
they're
human?
humanoid, but like short.
Okay,
They're
but
almost they're
short
almost
people are people too, Al.
I didn't call them creatures. The game did.
Oh, okay, okay. Wait, what? What?
I don't
What?
I don't know. It's
Is that maybe
weird.
just a translation issue?
Possibly. I
Okay.
think they're meant to be like harvest sprites because ironically, the characters in the game that are actually harvest sprites are like your size,
Mm.
and the characters that aren't harvest sprites are harvest sprite sized.
This is upside down world,
It's just
opposite land.
on so many levels. Yeah,
Okay. And are these the like okay, but you said you never see them elsewhere. Like you don't there's no village
nope,
or they're never wandering around
nope,
Ferret Island.
nope. I have
Hmm.
never seen them, and I've put at least 10 hours into this game.
Is the game is there a mystery as to why you don't know where they are?
It does not frame it like that. No,
Okay. That was a choice. Okay.
I don't know where they're coming from. Nobody ever questions where they're coming from. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many of them. And you never see a single one until the minute you open the shop, and there's like a stream of them coming until you run out of stamina or items.
Mm-hmm. That mechanic reminds me of Garden Paws because you did have a shop in Garden Paws. There was no like haggling or whatever, but in Garden Paws, like it was just a line of people that come until your
Yeah.
shop closes. So,
It keeps convincing me that I don't think there is a good way to make a shop game. I just don't
mhm,
think it's possible.
that's fair. Oh,
Mineko
they
got the
also
closest, and it only works because it's like once a week and it's super short and super quick.
they also did Spells and Secrets.
I don't remember there being a shop where you're selling stuff in that.
No, no, no. I'm just saying I was looking to see what other games they've done, and that is
Oh,
on their
okay,
list.
yeah. So Roca Play, they're publisher. They're not
Yeah.
developer.
Oh, well,
Oh well,
why
I think they
does
have been a developer, but not for most games that they're linked to.
Okay.
They're mostly a publisher.
They are the developer of this game, though.
Oh, they are they?
Of
Okay,
this one specifically, yeah.
right. So they are.
Okay.
They were.
Um,
They're the second listed developer for Spells and Secrets. So probably not really.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
They also published the new game, a game about digging a hole, which seems to be getting a lot of attraction, but they didn't develop that either.
The
So
game
they're
about digging
really,
a hole.
yeah, it's all over the internet just now. It's just interesting how like hit and miss they seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're publishing Solar Punk as well, which looks really good.
The game about digging a hole.
Have you not seen this yet?
Oh, it's literally called a game about
Yeah,
digging
it's
a
called
hole.
a game about digging a hole.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
It's got very positive reviews on Steam. It came out 6 days ago, and it has nearly 4,000 reviews on Steam. It's like blowing up.
Oh my God, I see it. This is, I would do that. I want to play this.
It does. It looks really good, and people seem to really like it.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have
They're just the publisher, though.
bar quality for their publishing. Like some of them are great, and some of them are Sugardew Island.
Specifically.
Sorry, this is sounding really harsh. It's fine. It's fine.
They're not batting 1,000.
It's not a terrible game, but I do not know why I would play this ahead of any farming game ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Why would I play this instead of Stardew? Why would I play this instead of Coral Island? Why would I play this instead of Fields of Mystria? I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
When I backed this on Kickstarter, I literally backed it saying, I guess I'm going to cover this on the podcast, right? Like I'm not hating my time playing it, but I'm not like I must be playing it. Which weirdly I am doing with Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home. That's what territory we're in. I want to play Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home. I don't want to play Sugardew Island.
I was really shocked that you're still playing that when I saw it on your thing.
Codey.
Well, you're almost done. It's okay. Okay, so these harvest sprites, you never see them except for when they're buying from you.
No, so that's the harvest sprites are different.
What?
So these are the what do they call them? Forest folk are the ones that buy from your shop. The harvest sprites are the ones that you sell stuff to with the like random requests.
Okay.
They'll be like, oh, I want these things, and you can sell it and get more money for them. But no harmony. When
you get money, what do you use it on?
Buying more crops to get more money. No, so some of the crafting recipes require money. I'm not sure why, but like, this is the thing about some crafting recipes are just items. Some are like items and money, and they're weirdly scaled. So the first upgrade to the watering can that makes it go from 1x1 to 3x1, that costs you just 2,500 sugar dew.
Okay.
The next upgrade, so that was 2,500, 2,500. The next upgrade, 25,000.
Seems legit.
That is a massive increase for the next one. Yeah. And that's all it is. There's no items, no nothing. Just 25,000 sugar dew. Which I'm 10 hours in the game and I have 10,000 sugar dew. And I'm finding it really hard to go above 10,000 because you then like sell a bunch of stuff and then you have to buy a bunch of more. Yeah. Or you have to go around the animals for 10 hours to get the free seeds. It feels like there's a hump at 10,000, and the second upgrade would actually massively help you because it would speed you up doing things and you can do other things as well as just watering. I don't know. It feels weirdly scaled. It's not a massive issue, right? Because if you're enjoying the game, you're just going to continue doing what you're enjoying in the game and you'll get to that number and that'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
Any other questions about the shop?
Can you decorate it?
I have not seen anything about decorating it, no.
So you can't like change anything?
Not as far as you can upgrade it, but that just gives you more counter spaces.
Okay.
And the upgrade is like 200,000 for the first upgrade.
Mm-hmm. As is tradition. Okay, so take care of your animals in your farm, sell your goods to the forest folk, upgrade your island, fulfill small orders. Is that all this game has?
Well, there's also romance.
What?
I hesitate even mentioning this, right? So my last bullet point in this, what do they want from this stupid feature? It's worse than Fae Farms.
That's a bar.
There are 4 characters that you can romance. They are all the harvest sprites, which first of all, that's weird. Yep. Why would you romance the harvest sprites? I know you can do that in like some Harvest Moon games, but it's like a side thing. It's like, oh, if you really want, you can go and romance the harvest goddess because some of you are weird freaks, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get that. That's fine. Have
Yeah.
I been tempted to do that in a Harvest Moon game before? Yes, I have. These
Hmm.
ones look like children, right? This is the first point. Why are the only four characters in the game that you can romance weird children looking harvest sprites?
Yeah.
Really weird and creepy.
You also look like a child.
You do a bit. I get that, but all whatever. Secondly, the interactions are so wooden, right? Let me give you an example, right?
Okay.
I'm currently playing the game. I'm walking up to one of the harvest sprites who I don't even know
Okay.
the name of because it doesn't matter. Oh, they're not there. Right. Let me go find a different one. I don't know why
And are they
they're not in the
where
place they are always are. They are always in
where
the
are
exact same place, and now they're not for some reason.
same place on the islands or
Yes.
okay.
Let me
Oh, so
go
there's
find
like
a
one
different.
per island or whatever.
No, it's not. No. There's one that stands next to your shop. There's one that stands next to something else. Why have they all disappeared? Oh, here's one. Right. So this one is called Sylvana.
Okay.
I talk to them and they say, "Hello, am I in your way?" And your option to respond is okay. You click okay, interaction is finished.
And
That's it.
love. How much love? Look at the love.
I try
Let it
again
let it flow
and they
out.
say, "Hello, am I in your way?" And you say, "Okay." Wait, let me go find a different harvest sprite and see if there's something more interesting with that one.
Okay. How do you increase your reputation with them or whatever?
You sell them stuff at like they have the requests, so that increases the friendship. And bearing in mind, I currently have them all at like 2 out of 5.
Okay.
This is 2 out of 5 flowers.
Okay.
Let me find another one. Aha, this is Zephyro.
Okay.
I interact with them. It goes into this. They also do this weird thing where it goes into what is finding like a it turns into what feels like a cutscene, and they say one thing, you say okay, and then it goes out the cutscene. It's really weird.
It's romantic.
Very romantic. So they said the island really draws you in, which by the way was the only thing this person has ever said to me. And I
Hmm.
said, okay. All right, here's Ignis. Let's talk to Ignis. Ignis says, my hair. Don't worry, it always burns like this. They have
That
fire
makes
hair.
sense. Yeah, Ignis sounds like a fire. Yeah.
And I say, okay. And then, okay, right, you go and do some of the requests for them. You give them stuff and they go and they say, thank you. And you say, okay.
I mean that's probably why there's so much you take so much stamina to sell stuff. You've got social anxiety. Maybe you don't know the language, you know?
Okay. None of
It's
this,
like that.
none of these people are interesting. You never say anything to them. Maybe if I get up high enough, something else will happen. I don't know. Why should I care? They're also all the same model, just with a different color, and one of them has fire on their hair for some reason. There's nothing
Mhm.
else. They're just there. I don't understand this. Why did they add this feature in? It doesn't make any sense. It like if they had just removed the romance aspect of it and they existed and you did stuff to them and they were just like mystical harvest sprites that are around the island, which by the way, they never walk around, they just stand in one place. I feel like that would have been
Mhm.
better. Why did they feel the need to add romance in? I do not understand this obsession. When they announced it, they were like, oh, this is great. We're adding in romance, which everybody wants. And I'm like, no, nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted this. This is bad, right? I think the rest of the game is like you can take it or leave it. You might enjoy it. It actually is fine. You might have fun in this game. The romance is just like actively bad from start to finish, and I do not understand why you would ever want to do it. The requests are fine because it's like, oh, you get specific things and you get more money than you would in the shop. I like that. That's good. That's giving you a different way of selling things. It forces you to maybe look at different crops, these sorts of things. Why romance? It's a bad romance feature.
Capitalism. I don't know. I was trying to look through because because the game's not out yet, there are no Steam reviews. So I was trying to look through the community hub to see if there's any comments on anything. They did have an update recently on February 7th, but the update literally just was bug fixes. So there's no improvements to like any of what you're talking about. Because I mean, we could always give them the benefit of the doubt of the fact that this is not yet a.
Yeah, there are some bugs that I've not mentioned because I know that they're going to be fixed. There are bugs that I have encountered that are already fixed, right? Those are
Mhm.
not issues, right? There are things that they've shown that they can do that, but it's just the actual like underlying thing
Mhm.
of the game is
The
not
game.
fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's I'm not seeing anything about them like having fixed any of that. So I tried to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Ugh.
I don't get this. Like, I can see there's some curators that have reviewed the game, and one of them just says super recommended. And I'm like, well, I'm going to ignore you then. You're all clearly have no idea
Mhm.
what you're talking about it. And one of them says, not my cuppa. And I'm like, okay, I trust you.
Mhm.
Like, it feels, not to say that nobody would enjoy this thing. I do think that some people would enjoy this, right? I legitimately do.
Mhm.
I suspect it's not people listening to this podcast, probably, because you're probably listening to a podcast about farming games because you like, you know, the interesting parts of farming games and not just the aspect of farming, right? Like that is not, let's be honest, that is not a thing that can create a full size game that people actually enjoy to play,
Mhm.
right? Like if Stardew Valley is not popular because it's a farming game. It is not popular because it has romance. It is popular because it is a game that was lovingly created by somebody with a vision and every aspect of it is good. This is a game that jumps on a bandwagon and every aspect of it is meh, except the romance, which is
Mhm.
actively bad.
Yeah. So
Why
Al,
does the character creator have four hair colors?
because there are four hair colors in the world.
Four hair colors.
There's only four hair colors, Al.
I know it's such a silly thing to point out. I know it doesn't matter, but four hair colors?
Yeah. The other thing that I just noticed in a thing, and I really want to get your opinion on this. They say that this is the coziest farming game ever.
I
Your
don't know what you
thoughts?
expect me to say to this, Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that on a
What does that even mean? Where did they say
it's
that?
gosh, it was on one of the things in the let me find it. Mm. Man, I was just scrolling through all of their stuff on Steam trying to find anything. Excuse me. It is on Cozy Quest announcement. It's November 14th, 2024. It's the YouTube video working on the coziest farm shop game ever. And the uh
Well, there you go.
yeah.
Farm, shop. You could make that argument if you want, because there aren't many of them.
I mean, I think the or Garden Paws did a better job than what you just described.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played Garden Paws, but I would probably rather play it than this.
Yeah. Yup.
I'm not even going to talk about the graphics because I think graphics is hugely subjective. I'm not a huge
Hmm.
fan of it personally, but I don't think that I don't think I should knock it down for that, right? Like different people like different things. You're going to look at it and decide whether you like it or not based on the first screenshot on Steam.
Hmm. I guess like does it seem polished and finished or does it seem
I mean, I've encountered quite a few bugs. Some of them have been fixed. I lost a chicken once. I went and bought two chickens, and then it had a list of my chickens, and I had two chickens, but there was no second chicken.
hmm.
I only had one chicken, and it looked like I basically had like they both the chickens somehow had the same name, despite the fact that I'd given them second names. So it was like it duplicated my first chicken, except that it didn't. It just duplicated it in the list. And then one day, I had the second chicken. It was there, and it existed as a
He
separate
was
chicken.
he was on a vacation.
I don't know why, but they both have the same name still.
Hmm.
And when I clicked feed all, right, because you go into like you click on a menu and you click feed all and it feeds all of your animals. You don't actually have to manually feed them. You don't
Hmm.
get to manually feed them either. Instead of four being removed because I had two chickens and two cows, only three wheat were removed from my so it wasn't getting fed, even though it was on the list and it said it was getting fed. So I don't so the chicken legitimately didn't exist. And then it did.
Hmm.
Surprise chicken.
But bonus chicken.
Well, no, because I paid for it.
You're right.
No bonus chicken, just
It's
missing chicken.
mystery chicken, chicken of mystery.
The chicken of mystery.
Um,
Episode title.
chicken of mystery. Um, well, shall that be the end of the ranting of
Yeah.
this game?
Yeah. Have you got any more questions?
No, but I
Good.
did, as I've been scrolling through Steam, trying to figure out if there's any more information on Steam. There's not. There are a few sales going on as part of the Couch Co-op Fest. And Overcooked 2, which I know is not a cottagecore game, but feel like people would really like it, is 75% off. It is only $6. And the game that people will from that like this will like, where is it? Cult of the Lamb is half off. But that ends on February 17th. So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. But
Play any of those games instead of this one.
I do want to buy Cult of the Lamb so bad. The One Who Waits. Oh, there's a huge bundle that you can get. That's 38% off right now.
Cult of the Lamb is a good game. Go play that.
I just have money issues.
Okay, well, not you. I'm just talking in general. Do not buy this game. Do not play. Well, I mean, okay, I'm not going to say don't buy this game.
I mean, I'm not going to.
If this game sounds interesting to you, despite what everything I've said, then go buy it. If not, there's plenty of other games to play.
I will say, if it sounds interesting to you from my scrolling on Steam, they will have a demo available on February 24th on Steam. It's Windows only. So if you're interested, but you're not 100% sure, and this podcast has clearly and obviously shown you that this is not maybe worth your time, but you're still like, but maybe it is.
Look, if you want to play this game after what I've said, go ahead. Please do. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you actually like this game, please tell me. I would love to hear people who play this game and enjoy it.
If people listen to this and they if they put this recommendation in their hand, right? And then they carry it up to the shopkeeper and they say, I need more convincing. The demo will be available on Steam on February 24th. And then the game comes out.
If you need more convincing, you definitely don't want to play the game. Like if you still aren't sure after everything.
That's the thing. That's you can convince them and then they'll give them extra money. We've learned that. We learned that today.
I don't think you can do that on Steam.
I'm also my partner is visiting me this weekend, and every time he says anything to me, I'm just gonna reply with okay. Because that apparently also works. Yeah. I
just clicked on one of them, and apparently I can now ask them to go on a date. So that's apparently now a thing I can do.
Okay. Do you...
Codey, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I've closed the game.
Okay.
And I'm updating my Steam Deck.
There you have it, guys. Sugardew Island.
All right. I don't enjoy not liking games, and I don't enjoy talking about them on the podcast when I don't like them. But I can't pretend that I like this game, and I can't pretend that it did anything other than frustrate me.
Okay, wait. Here we go. A way to be positive. What are 3 things that the developers could do to turn your opinion on this game?
Oh goodness! Remove romance. Don't make it better. Just remove it. Okay. You don't want romance in this game.
Well, I also
clearly don't want to implement romance, so don't do it. Just remove it. Delete it.
Yeah. Okay. No romance. Done. Next.
Add characters into the game. There are only 2 characters that have any intrigue to me whatsoever. The dude who sells you seeds. Where does he come from? Why is he there? I need to know his story.
Okay, backstory of Seed Dude. Next.
I can't even remember his name. And there's an animal that is in the middle tree in Forest Island. Mm-hmm. There's like an amalgamation of all the other animals. And they're vaguely interesting. And if I were to continue playing it, which I'm not, it would be to find out the story behind that. But I suspect it's not particularly interesting because when you start up, they don't trust humans. And you're like, oh, but I'm just here to help. And then after a while, they go, oh, maybe you're here to help. And so I suspect that's the whole story, right? It's like humans are bad. You don't trust humans. Oh, not all humans.
Hashtag not all humans.
I think that's the whole story. But maybe give more interesting stuff there. So
that's 2.
I don't know. It's hard to like, because I feel like the thing that would make it more fun to play would be something else, like something in the game, some features in the game, right? Like I don't think you can make the shop fun, right? Like I just fundamentally don't think that's possible. So I don't think I would do anything there.
Yeah.
But I feel like there needs to be something to do.
What about like a mini game?
I don't think that would make it good. Like my point is like I get up, I water my crops, I sell in the shop. I,
Hmm.
and they want me to go romance a harvest sprite. Like, what else do they want me to do? Like, the point in Stardew is like you're building relationships with the villagers. You're trying to make the village better. Like, yet
Hmm.
they say like upgrade the island, but all you're doing to upgrade is you're doing the things, and then there are animals on the island, right? Like,
What
you're not really getting any advantage from that.
What about if each island has the different animals, right? And you go up to them and they're like, "Man, I want more flowers." And so you plant more flowers on that island or
Sure, there
something
are no
like that.
flowers in the game, but yeah,
But something like that. Like something where they're like, "I want to like this space isn't good enough for me. I want it to be improved." And then as
yeah,
it's improved, maybe either they give you more free seeds or maybe the animals are willing to like sell seeds to you for way cheaper than the other guy so that maybe the money part gets fixed.
maybe.
Maybe just the money part actually, because if upgrading your shop takes
I,
200K.
I think I think this is the thing, right? Like this is the problem, is that I feel like this game was made so that they made a farming game, right? But I would argue you
Mhm.
should be making a farming game because you want to make you have an idea for what would make a good farming game. And I'm not sure
Mhm.
what that idea here was, right? Like Concerned Ape went, I want a good farming game. He didn't say I want to make a farming game. He said, I want a good farming game to play. Here are the
Mhm.
ideas that I have. And he went and did it. And
Mhm.
and every other good farming game that there's been has gone, these are things that I want to do. This is what I want to do in a farming game. Whereas I honestly think that Roca Play went, I want to release a farming game because people like farming games. And they didn't
Yeah.
have an idea for what that would actually mean and what would make theirs fun.
It does. I mean, I mean, we've memed on this game ever since we talked about it because of the name. Like
Yeah.
S blank do valley or like island or whatever, like just gives
Yeah.
it's just like you're trying to jump in on the thing and then people might be like, "Oh, let's try this one because it's different than all the other ones I've tried and maybe this will be the right one." And by that point, like maybe they can't get their money back or whatever, like so I'm not sure. Hopefully, they will be taking feedback into account and increasing the quality of the game because that is a shame.
Have you considered making a better game?
It's a shame.
It is a shame because I don't like knocking down indies. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hope you don't listen to this because you'll be really sad about what I've said. But maybe if you don't want me to say bad things about your game, don't make a bad game.
Yeah. I mean,
All
when you
right.
make a thing and release it into the world, you are welcoming feedback.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Yeah. Look, I think there's something interesting in the there is no time and time only progresses when you do thing like
Yeah.
when you do a specific thing. I think there's something interesting there. Maybe do something with that. Like that is how I will finish on a positive note. I think that's an interesting idea.
There you go.
Now make a good game with that concept.
Ah, you ruined it.
I think that's a fun, interesting idea. Full stop. Codey, thank you for
Yeah.
joining me. Where can people find you on the internet?
Of course, of course. I am on Instagram at Hiking Beagle, Beagle. That is where I talk about my dogs and my ADHD, and you'll always
Bees.
find me yapping about bugs. And then on Blue Sky, which is it's just my name, Cody Mathis, and that's where I am still advocating for my neurodiversity, but also government stuff and more science stuff for sure. What about
Woo.
you?
You can
Where
find
can
me on this
people?
podcast. I don't care. Go follow me on social media if you want. The links are out there. You can follow the podcast on Tumblr at
Oop,
THS Pod and also on Blue Sky.
I gotta post a photo to the Slack and say
Oh,
you can't watch this for a week.
Yeah, this is the longest one since you started doing that.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, listeners, you should go on the Slack.
You can find us at our website, harvestseason.club, where you can send us feedback. Tell
Hmm.
us why you want to play Sugardew Island and why you think it's a good game, why you disagree with me. Please, I want somebody to tell me. Someone, anyone, anywhere. Uh, you can also find links to everything to do with the podcast, including our Patreon, patreon.com/dhspod. Go to our Patreon, support the Patreon, give me money. In exchange of giving me money, I will give you a Slack to see Codey's pictures of things.
And this week, I am going. I'm gonna post pictures of all of the How should I do bugs or cute fuzzy things?
Fuzzy things.
Okay, I'm gonna post a picture of all the fuzzy things that I have been watching this week, which
Ooh.
is 5. I've been watching much this week.
If you get into the Slack, you can also talk to Codey about Downton Abbey.
Oh, yep, correct. I am super excited to get back to that.
And you also get access to our bonus podcast episodes. When is this episode releasing? This is releasing
Wednesday,
just
the
before.
19th.
Obviously, I knew it was Wednesday.
The 19th.
This is in a few days. We will be releasing our Pokemon Day predictions, which me and Kev did. So come listen to us and tell us how wrong we are, because we'll probably be very wrong.
Oh, interesting.
Well, we're always wrong.
Yeah, but it's always fun to see how wrong you are, you know?
And we're starting to think up the other bonus episodes for the year. I'm sure we'll be having some Eurovision ones. I've been paying attention to what's coming, what songs
What
are
else
releasing.
people wanted? What did people want? Oh, Bluey.
Oh, yeah, we need to do the Bluey one. Yeah.
People want a Bluey
I've got
episode.
3 episodes left to watch, and then I've watched them all.
Okay, cool. And then we can talk about the currently what's already been released, but also what we would love to see in the new season.
Slash the film.
What?
Did you not know?
No.
2027 Bluey film.
So far from now.
I know. It really is.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are coming up. That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me, Codey.
I'm not Kevin.
I didn't say Kevin. I said Codey.
I always have a blast on this chatting with you. It's always fun.
Until next time.
Have a good harvest.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
They're very fuzzy.
Except for the Doberman.
How are there so many dogs and cat?
So the cat is Anne's cat.
Is that the person
bunny,
who's over just now?
Yeah. But I also watched that cat. The cat's name is Rocky. We rescued her she was in the middle of a road, a busy 4-lane road. And we drove by and I was like, what is that in the road? And it was a freaking kitten. She was like 4 weeks old when we found her. And so now she's probably like 8 months old. She's just a goober. She's a big old fluffy goober. And then my dogs are clearly the ones that are mine. The Doberman's my tattoo artist's dog. And then the tongue out Yorkie is a dog that I just sit. I had her for like 5 days and then I had her yesterday and then I'm going to have her tomorrow. And then the bunny I've been going and checking on him twice a day. And he is very cute.